Hello, everyone. Or hello, Ammon. Only. Well, I decided to have a short changed you guys today because I had to go. So I thought maybe I can have a little earlier session than 9 o'clock. Thank you for that, Ammon. Yeah, of course that's possible. You ask her if she's okay with that. Why not? Yeah. You don't have to, hide anything. You just, when you get friend and you guys seem to like each other, and you ask her if she's okay with that. Then, if both of you are okay with it, then that's fine. David, my goodness, where the hell have you been? She says, hello, Meran. Male 26, Albuquerque. Yeah, you moved from Texas, was it? Was it? Was it Houston? Were you in Houston before and then you moved to Albuquerque? And Katrina Andrea says 23-year-old male Romania. Hello, Andrea. Says, I've just found out the reason why my ex left me. Who cares really what the reason is? She left me for another guy. Okay. But that's not a reflection on you. He was like his friend. I told her in this years of relationship that she feels something for him, but she did not recognize. I feel betrayed. Okay, so what? So what does that mean? You feel betrayed. Why should you have thought that loyalty comes in a package look like her, or she's the embodiment of loyalty? Why did you ever think that? That now you think you're betrayed. Oh my God, I'm betrayed. By whom? By someone that actually was the representation and the symbol of loyalty? No. You were betrayed by some idiot who had no proper values for her own life. Knowing that, leaving you, if she left you and then became, went in a relationship with that other guy, then who cares? She didn't go with that guy while she was with you. So she didn't do anything wrong, really. If she was with you and she started seeing another guy, yeah, okay. And even then you would say, okay, so I'm betrayed. Well, why am I supposed to think that, oh, she's beyond betraying me? Anybody can be an asshole. But it wasn't the case either, as I understand it here. She broke up and then went with somebody else. Or did she do it while she was with you? Either way, who gives a shit? Why you're so hung up on that? Build your own life. Go about building your own life. People do many different things because they're different. She wants this, she wants that, she does this, that's her principles, that's her taste, that's what she wants. Okay. But you have all kind of choices too. It's not like she was the last woman on earth. Now that she has chosen another man, there is no life for me. No. Who is she? Honestly, who is she? There's some girl you like. Okay, you like another one. Because you are not going to keep a relationship together just because you liked someone. You can like any girl, so many girls. I mean, we love women, right? So you can love all kinds of girls. But that's not what's going to keep the relationship together. How you guys bond on consciousness level after you guys get to know each other is what's going to keep the relationship lasting or not. This one wasn't. So what's the significance of this one that I liked left me? You could have liked somebody else and she could have left you or not. That's not because you have to be really devastated because you liked her. We liked every girl at the beginning. But depending on what kind of a relationship and compatibility we will find between the two of us, then that relationship either continues or doesn't. So this particular one, you liked her. Well, the ingredients for being in a relationship is to like each other. So you liked her. Okay. Then she did something that is not, appropriate when you're in a relationship. Or she decided to leave and go do something else in her life. Okay. Why are you supposed to think that that was the last woman on earth and her choices will make or break you? Her choices is for her. You have your own choices that you can focus on. And they're lucky for us. There's so many amazing women, beautiful, intelligent, educated, conscientious, unselfish, responsible, reliable. What else do you want? It's there. Go find it. You can't just say, oh, I wanted this unreliable girl to be reliable. It's like saying, well, I want this donkey to be a horse so I can take her to the horse racing and win races. It's a donkey. You can't measure up to your expectations that you have from a horse. And this girl that's her level. You can't expect the girl that doesn't have the manners or morals or education or understanding or the wisdom or intellect to still act as if she does. She's her own self. So you guys see that and then move on to a different girl. Big deal. David says, yes, that's correct. I was in Dallas, Texas. The only free country in the United States now. Texas and Florida. The rest are sheeps, looks like it. I don't know which ones are still, independent and thinkers and for freedom and our liberties. Anyhow, moving on. Armand says, how not to feel badly crushed by rejection from the most wanted thing or person or work, because there are other opportunities out there. Rejection means nothing. Rejection is a step to success. If I want to sell something, so I want to sell this thing, this cup. So I go to someone and says, hey, do you want to buy a wonderful cup that keeps the heat in it? And the person says, no, I'm rejected. But if I'm supposed to ask this from 20 people, and in this 20 people, one of them will say yes. So the first rejection is taking me one step closer to that 20th that is supposed to say yes. So rejection is a pathway to success, because then it says quickly, before you spend so much time and energy in it, it says this wasn't it. It's like you take a road to find an address, and right off the bat, when you make the turn into that road, it says dead end. So quickly you have a chance to turn around and choose the next road. If there are 20 roads you're supposed to try to find your address, well, this one didn't take so much time, because right off the bat you saw the sign, it says dead end. You turned around instead of going all the way in, and then at the end there was a dead end. Oh, I got to turn all the way back. So when you get a rejection, it's a blessing. I didn't have to spend time to then later on find out it doesn't work. Then boom, next, and the next one, rejected. Okay, next, and next. And finally someone says, you want to buy a cup that keeps the heat perfectly well and cold as, oh yeah, sure, definitely. There we go. So all those rejections were a pathway to my success, to find my success sooner. The sooner I get rejected, the sooner I get to the one that doesn't and wants, and we're compatible, and makes it work. Well, you know, what to do if we feel toxic shame from failure, excuse me, or rejection, and beat ourselves unconsciously. Well, that's your choice. You want to feel shame because you're rejected? You're an idiot. Isn't there something in the world that you rejected? Well, does that mean that person or that thing that you didn't want, let's say in the shop you wanted to, they say, oh, buy this, this is good. You said, no, I don't want it. I don't like the color or whatever. I don't like the quality or whatever. Do you think just because you rejected that thing or that friendship, that person became less, or that thing became less of a value because you rejected it? No, it didn't. It just meant you were in the match. The next person came and bought it. So big deal. Same thing with you. If you reject it, that doesn't change your quality. It just means it wasn't compatible. Look, consider a nuts and bolt. A nut and a bolt. You try to put them together, they don't fit. So they don't fit. But this nut would fit another bolt, and this bolt would fit another nut. So there's nothing wrong with either one of them. They just don't match. They gotta find the right match. Otherwise, they're perfectly fine. So the same thing. You just don't match doesn't mean you're less. And the one that matches that person that you did match, or matches that bolt that matches the nut that it wasn't matching before, that doesn't mean that it's a better one or a worse one. It doesn't change them. It just means they are not a match, that's all. But when they find their match, they're, oh, perfect. You say, oh, perfect. They match. Doesn't matter which one. This doesn't match, doesn't make it bad. Just got to put it on, put it down, and find the right one. That's it. Same thing with friendship, relationship, whatever else. You go to buy shoes, you put the shoes on and it's not the right size. Is it a bad shoe? No, it just doesn't fit. So you try another one until it fits. Okay, that's a match. But the other one matches somebody else. You know? So your choice doesn't make that shoes bad or good. It's just not working for you. Same thing. If somebody rejects you, this girl doesn't want you. Okay, big deal. Doesn't change me. I'm still the same person as I like, and I try to be better in my life and learn more stuff, be wiser, more qualified, more educated, whatever. I'm still the same person. My worth and value is not dependent on who matches me or who likes me or doesn't like me. I'm still that person. I just got to find my match. And that's what you got to do. Ahmed says, what about pure OCD? Well, what about it? You know, Dr. Phillipson has discussed this thoroughly. In fact, he's the one who coined the phrase pure O. So you watch his link on YouTube. I have the link under my videos on the OCD and HOCD videos, and you can enjoy learning a lot from his videos. And so what about it? What's a specific question? Pure O, it's a way for you to realize this is subset of OCD. It just doesn't have the physical compulsions, physical witnessed physical compulsions. And Luke says, Luke, male 29, England, is... What's wrong with you, Luke? Is pre-cum a groinal response? What are you talking about? Who cares? When you have anxiety, you could have a pre-cum too. And anxiety could be for any reason that you shouldn't even try to find out why. We're animals. We could have anxiety and we could have some bodily reaction that's got nothing to do with the concept or with the anxiety of that particular sort. You could see a snake, you could be scared, you could piss in your pants. What does that mean? Is that a pre-cum, or is it just you're not holding your water? What is it? Something wrong with your kidneys? No, you don't interpret it. You got scared, anxiety came, you piss in your pants or shit in your pants. So whatever happened? Or, your heart start beating. What? You're going to interpret what? What does that mean? Everything has to mean something? No. Stop this nonsense of trying to interpret every movement. No. You could have groinal response by just, I don't know, looking at something shiny or something soft or something smooth. It doesn't talk to your prefrontal cortex to make meaning out of it. It just has some connotation and association with some kind of a smooth or softness, and then it goes to some sexual thing and you don't even notice it, but you react. Simple. Because everything about us is about sex. You see a leaf that is shiny and smooth and soft, you touch it, you touch a rose petal, you may feel like, oh, it's quite sexual. But what does it mean? You want to fuck the rose? Or you're rososexual? What, you want to give it a label? Stop giving label to things. Live your lives. Whether your dick moves or doesn't move, your life is not dependent on your movement of your butthole or your dick or your, I don't know, twitching your eye. Or stop interpreting shit. All right. What a high quality, sophisticated discussions on this live stream we have. Very scientific. Okay. Aman, you have made your worth and value dependent on other people's reactions towards you, something you do, something you like. Now you're asking what to do if somebody rejects with insult. Like what? Someone says, get lost, you fucking idiot. Is that's an insult versus please get lost, or do not come near me, or do not come near me, you mother, what? Insult doesn't have a reflection on you. It's a reflection on that person who's using those words out of line. Like, if you haven't been disrespectful, you haven't been using insulting words, then if that person uses it, it's just his own assholeness. So next question is what? Aman says, what if someone rejects you and beats the crap out of you? Then how do you get over that? Listen, first of all, why do you have to do something that you get insulted even if somebody wants to reject you? So make your approach civilized and cordial, gentlemanly, and even if the girl wants to reject you, it won't insult you. And if they do, well, then they're assholes, because you didn't really cause any intrusive behavior. So Nova says, hello, Miran, we're back early. Yeah, because I finished my appointment, and then I thought it's still early, and it's better to do it now, and then I can have my walk by the beach and enjoy myself in a different way, and can have enjoyment here and now while it's still bright out there. Ahmed says, how to know if the person is not right for you or liar when she lies? You know that she's a liar. But do you want her to come with a placard? You know, one of these signs that she comes to you and says, hello, I'm a liar. Right off the bat, nobody does that. But through the interaction with her, you'll figure out if she's the right person for you, or she's a liar, or she has good manners, morals, she has integrity, or what she's all about. So, what do you guys expect everything to be so simple? Somebody comes in with the, identification card, and on the identification card, beside the name and address and everything and age and so on, it also says this person is a bad person, or 2 stars instead of 5 stars. You can't, get away that easy with these things. You got to invest time, you got to interact, you got to socialize, you got to find out what they're all about, and then you gauge it against your values, and you'll see if this person is measuring up, or it's worth your time or effort or energy or not. Yeah? And there are 9 of us here, and there's 2 likes. Aren't you guys ashamed of yourselves? 10 of us. Come on. Move your fingers. Butterfingers. Click on that like. What do you think? Everything is free? At least click on the like. God damn it. Noah says, will you stream later tonight? Probably not. I think that's enough. Like I did that in the afternoon, early afternoon, and do it now, and then I do other things. What do you guys do to promote this channel? Do you guys do anything, for heaven's sake? What is it again? What's wrong with you guys? Haven't I answered your questions so carefully? There are 10 of us here, 3 likes. Huh? Move it. I'm gonna get the ugly stick in a second if you guys don't. 4. Whoopee. Get on with it. Okay, I'm not gonna answer questions from now on. Just gonna sit here, have my tea, look at you guys. If you guys don't value this channel by representing it, your emotions with the likes, sorry then. Go make an appointment on Skype. Pay for it. And then put the likes in. Only 5? Shame on you. 4 more to catch up, at least. I shall not be speaking until we've got 9 likes. I gotta get a little assertive with you guys. Otherwise, YouTube doesn't give a shit about my channel. We're gonna be invisible as we've always been. 6. Wow. Really, you guys like this channel so much that you actually want me to do another stream later tonight. I think that's plenty for the next 2 weeks. With the reception I get. Jesus. Disgusting. Shameful. Unbelievable. Unheard of. Inconceivable. Reminds me of the Princess Bride. Was it Princess Bride? It was a good movie. Inconceivable. Yeah, so you guys stick at the 6 over 9. 9 people, 6 likes. All right. Fine. That's how you feel. There's actually 6 people here that are making comments. So we're really 6. The other 2 are just watching. Sammy! Sammy, what happened to the protocol? Gender, age, where are you tuning in from? And click on like before I answer. Now I get paid first. Like first, then answer. There's 7 of us here, there's 6 likes. That means, Sammy, you haven't clicked on that thing yet. Go for it and add your gender, age, and where you're tuning in from. Then I'll get on to your question for sure. Sammy says, England, male 47. Thank you for that. Now the only thing is waiting for you is to click on the like, Sammy. Sammy says, I have. You have? Where the hell were you then? I couldn't see you, but you had. Okay then. William. William says, okay, let me read this. This is complimentary. I gotta read this one. I gotta spend time on this one. William says, you're our beloved leader through the fog of relationships. Oh, there he goes. That's my man. That's my boy. That's what I call appreciation of this this guy sitting here wasting his life looking for likes. God damn it. There's 7 of us here, 6 likes. I don't know how to live with that. See, Aman, this is the rejection that you're talking about. How am I going to get over this? How am I going to deal with this? There's 6 people, there's 6, no, there are actually 6 people, 6 likes. I can live with that. So, all right. So, Sammy says, broke up 6 weeks ago. Congratulations. She has emailed me, he says, with, what do I do with loyalty card? Huh? Twice. What does that mean? Then emails about mail that has come. You got to explain a little bit. I don't know. Is that an inside information like loyalty card? Is it an actual thing, or is it like some arrangement you guys had between it, the 2 of you, that you're supposed to, I don't know, not go out with somebody else? I don't know what it means. Then emails about mail that has come, an email saying she wants me to delete all photos of her. Then on Tuesday, what happens on Tuesday, Sammy? You're leaving me hanging. So anyhow, elaborate on that. I don't quite understand. She has emailed me with, what do I do with loyalty card? What does that mean? I don't know what that means, in your case at least. Then emails about mail that has come. An email saying she wants me to delete all photos of her. Then on Tuesday, loyalty card is a store reward card for shopping at that store. Well, it depends on how much is the loyalty card. What is it? $100? So go 50-50. 200, 50-50. Whatever it is, 50-50. And if it's just like $20 or something, give it to her. What's the big deal? And about the deleting the picture, well, you know, I don't know the answer to that. Gentlemanly thing is that, why not delete the hell out of it? What do you care? Why would you want to have her pictures? All it's going to do is what? Remind you of some pleasantry or experiences, places you guys went, or just, I don't know, turns you on when you're lonely and you don't have a girlfriend, you miss her. So there's no good to it one way or the other. So if it's broken up, delete it. You got to delete it anyhow. So delete it. You know? Simple. What do you want to keep it for? What value does it have other than taking you into the memory? If you create new mechanical processes for you in life, like things you like to do, because things that you like to do are no longer the same as it was when you guys were together. Because there were certain things you were doing individually, and certain things you were doing together in your daily lives, and that was your mechanical processes. Whether you were texting to each other, going to work, or going to school, or driving together to go to school or to work, or whatever it is, or gym or cinema, the things you were doing was your mechanical process. And because of those things that you were doing, your mechanical processes, a certain order, a certain routine was created for your daily life. And that certain routine was the order of your life. And in that order, your minds were finding security, solace, relaxation. That is where and how mind finds its home, relaxes. Now, those pictures are to take you to a memory. In the memory, same order of things still exists, echo of the order of life, how it used to be between the two of you. And in that order in the memory, mind finds security. And that's why it likes to linger in the memory. And while it's lingering in the memory, she's around in the memory. And then you think, oh, I feel good because she's around in my memory, because I'm thinking of her. No, you feel good because you're in the memory, and in the memory there's an echo recording of that order of life. That's why you feel relaxed. But while you're there feeling relaxed, she's in there too, and you think it's her that you're missing. In fact, it's the order of life that you're missing. So create new mechanical processes for you, new things to do, different friends, different things, and create a new routine because of those mechanical processes. And that creates a new order where your mind finds relaxation and security in that order that you just created, beyond and different from how the order and the routine of your life was when you guys were together. And with that new order, mind finds security and relaxation. And you will not go into the memory anymore because the security is right there. You've created it by the new order. You don't need to go see the echo of the old order to feel relaxed. And then in this new order, she doesn't exist. Therefore, you don't miss her. You don't be seeing her. You're not in the memory that she would be included in that whole setting there. Capiche? And we have Olga, my dear Olga. All the thumbnails that you guys see, all the beautiful thumbnails that you see on the channel's videos, it's Olga's work. She's expert in that. So remember, you now know a artistic attitude, artistic person, talented person. Dear Olga, and she says, Mehran, you look younger lately. What's going on? Well, when I come home, there are girls lining up at my door, so therefore it gives me that energy of youth. No, I think because I'm getting older, I'm pretending that I look young in order to hide the fact that I'm getting older. That's the secret. That's the secret. That's all I can say. You got to roll with the worse the situation gets in life, I just get into an auxiliary mode of bringing more of an energy however I can. And I guess that actually does make a change in one's maybe outlook or energy, and that energy makes one seem he's younger. That's my explanation, at least for now. And thank you for that, by the way. You made my day. Sammy says she emailed about 2 letters that come for me before I set up redirection. I told her to just bin the letters. Well, no, the letters could be important. Why bin the letters? You mean trash it, yeah? Just tell her to put it in some kind of an envelope, put it outside the door, and you go and pick it up. Why are you so afraid of it? What do you think it happens? You'll have uncontrollable urges toward her that you got to have her what? Treat her like a human being, no more. Your desires should be shutting off because she doesn't qualify anymore. Simple. And then you go pick up your stuff. And you don't have to be, beating behind the bush. Hi, how are you? Yes, thank you very much. Have a nice day. Leave. That's it. You've been a decent guy. You haven't abused her physically or emotionally. Then you've got nothing to. You owe her nothing. Just go on and do whatever it is that you got to do. And the loyalty thingy card, just if it's a good amount, 50-50. If it's a small amount, just give it to her. Nova says, why do people always try to change you, and why do I fear it? Depends on what kind of change you're talking about. Some people, if the change is like, something like the game they like, they want you to like that game, or tennis, or certain game, or certain movie, or certain eatery, like a restaurant, or certain food. They want to share what they love with you, so you both will have things more in common. Okay. But if something else you're talking about, well, it got to be clarified in detail. I don't know what exactly that means, Nova. Well, Aman says, a guy said to me, suck my balls and get the fuck out of here when I was trying to sell him something. Made me sad that they and do anything do anything next. Look, you're a salesman, then you got to know where you're walking in. You gauge the type of environment you're walking in. If you think it's not a place that could appreciate what the product it is or services that you're selling, don't go there. Go to the next one. Look at them, read people's energy, and see if it's the right time you're going there. Maybe first you want to say, sir, I'm from such and such company and I'm selling something. Are you in the market to look for something? And they said no. So thank you, leave. But if you just go in there and start talking about what you want to sell, and someone being rude and an asshole to begin with may turn around and say such shit like that. And if it did happen that you were just properly approaching and saying what you were supposed to say to sell something, and they said these things and said, well, sorry you feel that way. Our services do not include that. And laugh and go out. Laugh. They will feel really like shit because they said something very stupid and disrespectful to a professional, to somebody who came in and was doing business. So he just simply says, oh, sorry you feel that way. Say, but our services do not extend to that, what you're looking for. Better luck, somewhere else. And you move out. That's it. You don't have to eat shit. And, and Nova says, lol, it says, Nova, did you give me the protocol? See, I can't tell. Sometimes I forget. I don't know who's man, who's woman, who's what, and what age, where you're coming from. So do me a favor, add that. I don't think you did. See, Sammy did. England, 45. Thank you. Nova, I know you've been here many times, but I forget. I don't record who's who. I know by thumbnails. Noah says, ideological viewpoints and whatnot. Well, fuck the ideological viewpoints. If that's not in line with your values, you don't have to put up with that shit. Everybody's trying to turn you into a pussy or someone who really doesn't have any backbones just because they find it very easy to have some kind of a, gravitation towards some kind of a cause, because then it makes them, without making any effort to make anything out of themselves, it makes them feel important and that they have accomplished something, even though they haven't, but they've stuck themselves to a certain kind of a narrative or certain kind of a cause. I'm part of that. And that part, that cause being of focus or importance somehow, then they think now they're important because they're part of that. But what have you made out of yourself? Nothing. Because you're lazy and you don't think you can make something out of yourself, you're going to stick yourself to a cause because it's the easiest way to feel that, oh, I'm part of the victims and I am part of this cause and therefore I'm very important even though I don't want to do any of this shit. So, leave and be. Build your life. Sammy says, I know it's 20 mail from US. Thank you for that. Well, US is not just a city-sized place. It's a big place. What part of US? God damn it! Come on, sprech. Sammy says, on Tuesday, she sent an email about an electric bill refund. And saying she forgot there was a parcel that came for me 6 weeks ago and slipped her mind. But the refund didn't slip her mind. She went and cashed that, huh? Is that what you're telling me? You're getting to learn about her now after they break up, but slips her mind and what takes her attention. On Tuesday, she sent an email about an electric bill refund, okay, and saying she forgot there was a parcel that came for me 6 weeks ago. That's really irresponsible of her. I don't care what that package is, but still, 6 weeks? You can email anytime you want, but you can't email that there's a package here for you. So, who has been paying the bill for the apartment, electrical, whatever? Have you guys been sharing it? If you've been sharing it, then refund is half and half, 50-50. If you've been paying it, then his refund is yours. If she's been paying it, refund is hers. Simple as that. And, that's better. Gee, this program must be really popular. We have whole 7 people here. And you're telling me why I don't do more? All right. I'll wait for your questions since we don't have any more right now. All right. Olga, I got your answer. Respond to the email. You're quite welcome, dear. Delighted that has enlightened you, and hope that you will find the balance and deal with it according to what brings balance and pleases you. And Emo says, hi again, hello. Emo. Sammy says, I guess my question is, yeah, that would be a good idea. Because if you guess your question, then I cannot understand it at all. Because if it's your question, you're guessing what it is, then God help me. He says, I guess my question is, there have been 9 or 10 emails in the 6 weeks. I know where you want to know if they mean something else. She's missing me. She wants me. Should I go there? Should I bring flour? No, none of that shit. And he says, I guess my question is, there have been 9 or 10 emails in the 6 weeks. Mainly small admin stuff. I broke up with her. Why does she feel compelled to email small stuff? Because you broke up with her. She didn't. Isn't that true? You moved on. You broke up. Was it your initiative? You see, I need the info. Throw me the bone. Give me the info. Dr. Evil here. Don't expect me to know everything. You know it. When you do public speaking, it doesn't matter that you know what you want to say. You got to make the person who's hearing it to understand what it is that you actually want to express. That's your focus should be. Not just tell it the way you know it. Because I know nothing as far as your issues and circumstances concerned. So enlighten me. Like you want me to solve a math problem? Give me the detail so I can maybe figure it out. All right. So did you break up with her? You initiated it? So she's using all these little things, if that's the case, to kind of get some conversation, some engagement. Maybe she wants to somehow get you come there to pick that up, and who knows, maybe she'll be all dewed up and look like she's going out to make you feel jealous or whatever bullshit it is that she could be conjuring up. Or she just wants to have an opportunity to get you there, maybe have tea or coffee, and while you're going over this discussion of loyalty card or whatever else, then there would be some kind of a re-beginning or rediscussion or discussion of some sort or some kind of a pleasant exchange or interchange and so on. And Olga says, yes, thank you very much again, Mera. I'm going to sleep now. Have a great evening. You too, dear. My pleasure. And I'm still in appreciating that beautiful thumbnail, the one that you just sent me, and I uploaded on the one cookie less. It's brilliant. I love it. And have a good sleep and take care of yourself. Emo says, I'm trying to comfort him. Who? Oh, there's another one there. A friend of mine is dealing with POCD, but someone told him that POCD is not real. Fuck that person who said it's not real. Stop listening to people. One should listen to real, legitimate, world-known experts such as Dr. Phillipson, Dr. Jan Weiner. What are these pieces of shit that you listen to? No, that's bullshit. Tell them to fuck off and don't listen to these assholes. They know nothing about OCD or POCD or HOCD or any other kind of substance of OCD. Watch psychotherapists, experts. As I mentioned, the links are underneath my videos. Dr. Jan Weiner, Dr. Phillipson, Dr. Schwartz. Just, go for science, not bullshit. All right. Sammy says, yes, I broke up with her. We lived together for 18 months. All right. Then that's it. That's what she's doing. I wouldn't be surprised if you go there, she's in high heels and all dewed up and just might even say, oh, good that you showed up a little bit early. I got something to do. I got to go somewhere. But let's talk about this very quickly. And then she does. She may end up sitting there for over an hour because you're there. Or she may just cut it off and say, oh, now I got to go. Okay, can we do this tomorrow? And that's a whole bullshit that could happen. Or she's genuinely trying to to get you to some conversation, kind of rehash this stuff. A second wind, so to speak. Emo says, I'm trying to comfort him, but going absolutely nuts. Yes, because you shouldn't try to comfort him. You should let him understand how the mechanism of the brain works, and rather than listening to this and that bullshit. And you are not qualified yourself to try to comfort somebody else, because when you're attacked with all this kind of bullshit that you're just telling me, you don't know what to say. You don't have enough background to know what facts are, what the actuality of this disorder is, having studied and researched and listened to experts again, such as Dr. Philipson, Dr. Jan Weiner, Dr. Schwartz, and their lectures and their discussions, then if you haven't done that and you haven't researched neuroscience, neurosurgery, something about the midbrain, something about the basal ganglia, striatum, caudate nucleus, prefrontal cortex, the amygdala, the anxiety center, all that. If you don't know any of that shit, anybody can throw something with the confidence which comes from their ass, and then you get bamboozled because you don't know what to say. And because you don't know what to say, and they're saying it with such confidence, you think they're right. So, oh fuck. And you get confused. Why would you do that? Don't listen to people. People know shit. Most of them know shit. Nova says, wow, that person put too much value to their thoughts. Who? Who are you talking about? Okay. And Ahmed says, thank you. You're quite welcome. But what for? What for? Did you have a question? Did I answer a question earlier? And if it was earlier, why did thank you come in 2 hours later? What's wrong with you? All right. Ahmad, you're not even here. Oh, yes, you are. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. All right, guys. We've been here almost an hour. And we don't seem to have too many people here. So, and I hate to be talking to myself because I do that during the day and night. But not when there are witnesses around. So therefore, I don't want to be labeled with some kind of a crazy, So, and there's nothing in my tea. I'm just giggling today because sometimes I do that. Now, the question is, what's going on? We don't have any women on our discussions anymore, at least not today, other than Olga that already gone to sleep. Usually we have 5 or 6 ladies as well. Are we losing our touch, our popularity among the softer gender? All right. Let's move on to nothing. Oblivious. Well, this morning we had so many questions and I had to go in the middle of it. So we left lots of questions unanswered. But today we lack questions. So I guess that's the cue to end our conversation here. Sammy says, do you think she will email again with something else, even though everything is sorted out and tied up now? Well, Sammy, it looks like you are getting affected. She already put the spell on you by conditioning you, sending you emails. Now you're kind of looking for that email, which is the beginning of conditioning you to kind of desiring her. Or are you simply trying to see, or do you get anxiety when she calls because you don't want to deal with it, and every time she wants something, you say, oh shit, it's not over yet. Is that how you feel? Or the fact that you're kind of getting to feel you miss her because she keeps on giving you some kind of a notion of interest, and you haven't found another girlfriend and you kind of feel lonely anyhow, so you kind of feel thinking about, oh, that's nice, somebody's paying attention to me, so maybe I should, is that what's going on? Ahmed says, I went to see the doctor that you recommended, and I want to say thanks. Oh, you're quite welcome. You're quite welcome. You're quite welcome. Delighted to hear that. Take good care of yourself. Good. Good. Excellent. Excellent. Ahmed, where are you? Did you say where you are? How old are you and where you are located? What part of the world? I gotta learn these numbers here. When it says playback, what does that mean? Like 102 people playback. Does that mean what? This is live. How could it be playback? Does it mean that 102 people watching, only 6 or 8 participating in questions? Like there's concurrent viewers, 6. Okay. Playbacks, 102. I don't know what that means. Sammy says, yes, it's making it harder to totally move on. You're right, he says. It could be a tactic to drip feed small stuff so as to get in my head. Yeah. Ahmed says Africa. Oh, okay. I kind of remember. And so yeah, Sammy. Well, I don't know what went on and what you guys had challenges, but if you guys were interested, if you thought it's worth it, you can book an appointment with me on Skype, both of you, maybe one individually and then both of you. If you want to make it work, perhaps it would be something you want to discuss with me, and I could maybe give you guys my 2 bits individually and then a session together and see, where we can go with that. And if not, then not. But it's available. Always remember, guys, if there's some things you want to discuss further in detail that you want to have the dedicated time and focus on it and explore with me one-on-one, then you go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, mindthatseekstruth.com, and make an appointment for Skype consultation, Skype chat, and then if you make an appointment for 1 hour, I will add another hour for that initial session for new clients on me, and we'll have 2 hours, plenty of time to, explore what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. Or Zoom, whichever. We can make that happen that way too. And Royal Doyle says, I think you look much better with your haircut. Yeah, I agree. I have to say that. I must agree. And Elliot Brivieska says, come on, guys. Do me a favor. What's wrong with you guys? I've always asked gender, age, where you're tuning in from. Like M for male, age, whatever it is, where you tuning from. Or F for female, 27, like whatever the age is, UK. There we go. 3 little things. Give me some info about yourselves, for heaven's sake. Why do I know who I'm talking to? How young are you? How old are you? Should you be here? Should you not be here? At least I want to have some kind of a, expression of your information to count on. And there you go. Brivieska, Alete Brivieska. Okay, it says female, 18 and US. Where in US? US is a planet, for heaven's sake. I can't figure out. Southerns have different mentality, have different temperaments. Eastern different, middle or whatever, Western, California different. So help me out, guys. Give me the info. Throw me the bone. Dr. Evil here. Yesterday, I got a new nickname by actually I like the nickname. What do you guys think? And he referred to me in one of his complimentary comments. I said, thank you, Internet Dad. Internet Dad. I kind of like it. It kind of makes me feel old shit. I can't believe that because I still think I'm 25. That's my mentality. That's the problem. But it actually hit home because, I do have that feeling about all of you guys. That's why I get really stressed out and I get my blood pressure up when you guys don't focus on the content as you should and put it to work and still come back with the same shit way of thinking rather than understanding how the brain works. So anyhow, that was a very interesting nickname. I like it. But Dr. Evil is also good. Or maybe I should say Dr. Evil, the Internet Dad. that could be something. Maybe our channel actually gets noticed by this kind of a title rather than Mind That Seeks Truth. Emo says he was watching this with me. He's still shook up, but he's fine. Yeah, tell him don't be shook up, shaken up. Shaken, not stirred. James Bond. All right, Arizona, Aliete. So Aliete. It reminds me of that French song that when I was a kid, my uncle would take us hunting and we would sing it. Alouetto, gentil alouetto, alouetto, je t'oublierai. Something like that, I remember that much. So, Aliette, not Alouette, Aliette, Briviesca. Briviesca, What's the ethnicity? Sounds Eastern. Maybe, I don't know, Russian, Polish, Belarusian, possibly Ukrainian. I don't know. I don't mean to offend you if I'm mistaken, but anyhow. Or Italian even, bravissimo. How you pronounce it, you could change your nationality. Briviesca. Spanish, none of the above. I failed Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? The question was, I didn't have a lifeline, that's why. Aliete, Briviesca. But Briviesca, is it Spanish? Anyhow, hope you're enjoying the live chat here. I've never seen Spain. My parents did. They traveled. They saw Barcelona. They saw. But I've never seen. I've seen many places in the world, but not Spain. And now the world being the way it is, I'm really disappointed. I love traveling, especially at this age. You know, you've gained enough understanding and appreciation more and more as you get older, and you want to connect with people. And that's kind of been taken away from us right now. So what do you guys think? Should we end the program or should we hang in there? Maybe other people will join us. Or are you guys good? We're going to make it through the next week? Okay. Emo says one more question. Okay, go ahead. And Eliete says, can you help me? Oh, did I not read? Oh, I guess I missed your questions, Eliete, yeah? So I got all that info and I didn't get to your question? Okay, my apologies. Let me go back. And So Alietta says, I had a very stressful day, and now one of the thoughts I had is back. What does that mean? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Well, you got to elaborate a little bit more, because I got to know the content. Like, what was that thought? Is it about OCD? Is it about intrusive thought of some kind? Is it any of the subsets of OCD? But in general, each part of our body, glands or organs and whatnot, has got a job to do. Your kidney's job is to filter blood and other things. Liver is supposed to regulate hormones and take care of the detoxifying you and saving your life. It's a mandate. Your intestine takes food and turns it into energy, and then the rest of it becomes feces and residues. That's going to be, you go to the bathroom and get rid of it, dispose of it. It is a program there. The brain also has a job. It's no different than your intestine or kidney or liver. It's programmed to have a certain job. Its job, though, however, is misunderstood. We think of our brain as some kind of a deity, intellect, above us, which in fact has got no difference between our asshole, our intestine. It has no intellect. It has capabilities of calculation, number crunching, figuring out things, and so on and so forth. Reasoning, because we use it for that. And its job is to make thoughts, all kinds of thoughts. It doesn't know what it makes it really in most cases. But according to all the information that has entered in our consciousness, through internet, television, mediums of different kinds, publications, magazines, billboards, internet, and so on, it gathers these information. It becomes aware that these information exist, these lifestyles exist in the world. And it doesn't consult with you about you and your values. It just makes thoughts based on all these information that seep through the consciousness and comes part of the memory. Knowledge that it's there, the field of the known. It picks up something and turns it into thoughts. But it doesn't know that it's actually suggesting something to you whose values are completely irrelevant and different than what it's suggesting. Because its job is to make us. But because we think about the brain as some kind of a smart, intelligent intellect, center of intellect, and connected to the whole beyond me intelligence, you believe it rather than treating it as its job is to make thoughts. And like our intestine, most of its production, beside the part that we use it to produce certain kind of thoughts, to figure out certain things so we can learn things, design something, and advance our lives, most of its productions are like the feces part of the intestine. We got to get rid of. We got to pay no attention to. We got to ignore. But we don't. We focus on every little bit of shit that it creates and conjures up because we think, oh, it's coming from the Almighty. No, it doesn't. It comes from some stupid place that somehow we've been duped and conditioned since childhood to think that that's the intellect center. That's why we have these problems. As I mentioned many times before, we lived for millions of years before 40,000 years ago, we were given this kind of a brain that we have, with ability to think and ability to speak. Before that, we couldn't think, we couldn't see. Everything was instinctive. We had stem brain or reptilian brain, very limited and mostly instinctive. Sleep, run, eat, have sex, defend ourselves. That's it. There were no thoughts or speaking ability involved. That's why there were no confusion in anything. Everything was hardwired and clear. No intrusive thoughts, no confusion in our sexual orientations, because these are all thought-based that imbalances you because you have certain belief in credibility of the brain, which doesn't exist, but you have given it to. So when it conjures up something, you believe it. And when you believe something, you don't need evidence. It's mostly like religions. We don't look for evidence really for religion. We believe it. Since childhood, they gave it to us. We believe it. So therefore, we believe it. We don't need evidence anymore once you believe something. As they say, believe is the enemy of knowledge. So this is how we think of the brain. But when you come to understanding of the position and place of the brain to be an independent apparatus, an organ, and it has a mandate and a job, a program to do, and that is making thoughts, but it doesn't know what it's making. You, on the other hand, have the higher degree of responsibility to judge what it makes. But instead of judging and selecting and deselecting and ignoring the stuff that the brain makes, you actually accept whatever brain makes and try to interpret it. That's the problem. You don't have to interpret anything that the brain does. You live not by the suggestions and ideas and images and thoughts of the brain. You live by your vetoes and selections, your vetoes and choices. That's how you roll. That's why you're higher above. You're the boss of this whole entity. And you judge the performance and activities of all the other parts of your body, including your brain. Most specifically, the brain. You have no problem recognizing the malfunction in other parts of your body. You got a diarrhea, you know it's not normal. You know this is not what you enjoy, what it's always have been. You don't say, oh, diarrhea today, so that means all those times that I had no diarrhea, that was wrong. This is right. No, it's very clear for you. This is not normal for me, and I don't want it, I don't like it, I don't enjoy it. Regardless of how bad the diarrhea is, you do not accept it to be normal for you because it's never been like that. But when the brain suggests something to you about your sexual orientation or whatever else it does, suddenly you forget all the history in the back, how you were, what you like, and all that thing, and you start believing the bullshit that the brain, who's responsible and not responsible for anything, has nothing to lose, but suggests to you, and you follow it rather than you judge it based on your values, what's meaningful to you, what's relevant to you, what's your manners, morals, faith, if you have one, states. That's how you gauge and judge the activities and productions and thoughts and suggestions and images of the brain. Not to just take it and then try to say, oh, where did it come from? That must be me, that must mean something. No, it means nothing, it means shit. You are the entity, not the brain. You get it? You are the living entity. You are the persona, not the brain. Brain is apparatus. If you watch my video, Are You or the Brain is the You? That's based on the presentation of Dr. Egnar, in which video, it's a little bit more elaborate than Dr. Egnar's, but I used his knowledge and research. You will see the experiments that the neurosurgeons, well-known, world-known neurosurgeons in the 1930s, the 1960s, and 70s have done, namely Dr. Speary, Dr. Penfield, Dr. Owen, Dr. Libet, and their experiments are extraordinarily interesting. They're beyond the shadow of the doubt, beyond the philosophical point of view since the 1,000 years ago in time of Aristotle, that has been proven. You will see through scientific experiments that the brain is not you, you're not the brain, and there are aspects of you, the aspects of mind that the brain cannot reach. You're above it all, beyond the brain. That is very apparent in that video. I'm going to put that link here for you to watch it. It's a longer video, but it's enjoyable. It's very enjoyable for you to learn these scientific facts and then see the truth of it all, and the intrusive thoughts and all that become a little bit more clear for you. The roots of it. And of course, in the two playlists that I have, Intrusive, Transient, OCD, HOCD, Negative Thoughts, and specifically, very important playlist as well, It talks about separation of thought, separation of brain, you, and thoughts. Brain, you, and thoughts, separate things. When you watch that, and when you understand that explanation and discussion in that playlist, Intrusive, OCD, HOCD short videos. None of them are short, but that's what I call it. So here it is. This is the one I wanted you guys to watch. I'm going to put it down here for your information. You can enjoy it when you have free time with the favorite beverage of yours and enjoy. Good observation, Nova. Alietta says, it was an old thought. I have HOCD. Yeah, it means nothing. Again, I explained it already. I'm not going to do it again, but that's exactly why. Because you guys give credibility to the source. When you take the credibility away from the brain that you have somehow been convinced to give, then nothing that the brain says, you would not think it needs any interpretation, any data hunting, any explanation, nothing. You just say, okay. It's like you walking in the street and you see dog shit on the road. You don't try to say, oh, how did it get here? Why is it here? Does it mean something? Is it a sign? No, it's a dog shit. You see it, you pass by. That's it. You ignore it, go. Recognize what it is. Oh, there's something there. What is it? Oh, call it for a dog shit. Oh, then you move on. Same thing. Intrusive thoughts show up. You notice the intrusive thought, so become aware. It's an intrusive thought. Then call it for what it is. It's intrusive thought. It's OCD. It's not me. It's HOCD, not me. It's the brain. It's not me. So you recognize it. You call it for what it is. Then you ignore it and move on. That's it. That's every time you do. And that causes rewiring of your brain because the brain sees you're not paying attention to these kind of things. You're not interested in it. And it gets the message and it starts, neuroplasticity takes place. And start rewiring yourself. They start showing less. These intrusive thoughts start showing less. And whenever they show up, you know what they are. So you don't, freak out. And you don't interpret. You just move on. All right. You got to treat your brain like other people outside in the street. They say some shit and it's not in line with your values. You pass by. You don't start, discussing or exchanging with them. Just move on. Say, okay, these are inappropriate. That's it. Not in line with my values. Gone. Same thing with your brain. Elietta says, I woke up from a 30-minute nap and then it doesn't matter. You just don't give it any kind of attention. Okay, it comes back. All kind of thoughts passes through the brain. 80, 90,000 thoughts a day. You're going to interpret every one of them? And most of them, if not all of them, are intrusive and bullshit. When you do not consider the brain as an intellect, then you don't give a shit what it conjures up and produces. So, okay, so what? Like some inappropriate, undisciplined, disrespectful people from a bad upbringing behaving the way they're behaving in life, in daily life, or saying stuff that is inappropriate. So what do? You just notice they're saying that, you go on. That's the same thing here. Don't think because it's mounted on top of your head, then it must possess the values and credibility and respect and class that you have. No, it's an independent system. It's got nothing to do with who you are. But you're the judge to use what it produces, if any, useful to you or not, and used to you or not. That's how you should think. Ammon, because these are some things that are not within your values. So these are your anxieties. These are the things that you don't like. So you're focusing on protecting yourself due to anxiety of it and fear of it, because that's not in line with your values. So you're protective of it. So your brain goes on tangents of negativity trying to protect you. In order to protect you, they have to think negatively. When you hire a bodyguard, how do they protect you or a property or something? They constantly have to conjure up with something negative in order to be able to protect that thing. So if it's in charge of protecting your life, it's constantly the bodyguard thinking, oh, somebody's going to attack from there, somebody's going to finger him or her, or somebody's going to grab him or her, or somebody's going to steal his or her, wallet or purse or whatever, or somebody's going to punch him. They're always thinking about these in order to be alert and protect and see possibilities, yeah? In order to protect them according to the values that they have. But they have to be thinking all this. So when you have some kind of a concern about something that you don't like, your anxiety level, protection level becomes fully projected on it and focused on it. And that's why you're constantly in these modes and you dream about some shit like that. It doesn't mean anything. It just means that you're so concerned about protecting yourself because you have anxieties about these things. So just let them go. Let the thoughts come and go. They mean nothing. They can't do nothing. They are non-existent. Ideas are non-existent in physical world. So there is no threat of ideas. But it makes the brain to believe, because the brain cannot tell the difference between virtuality and idea, thoughts, and actuality, actual action. But you can. That's why you got to be able to not pay attention to the bullshit that the brain, because you can tell this is virtuality. Virtuality cannot affect actuality. If you watch my video that I just brought out, which is actually the one that I was talking about, how beautifully Olga has made the thumbnail. If you watch this, that gives you a little bit of an idea about virtuality and actuality that I talk about it in there. So here it is. Wanted YT says, can medicine cure HOCD? It's all anxiety based, and some psychotherapists are against medicine as much as they could possibly help it. And some are okay with it when it gets to a level that the anxiety is so much that the brain is so overactive, they just want to calm the brain. But I think before anyone needs that, it would be good to consult with psychotherapists and psychologists, and then meditate and have mindful exercises and exercise and understand the movement of mind and understand the separation between brain, you, and thoughts. And these clarity, these information will help you to deal with it before it starts consuming you in that way. King Kwan Productions says, King Kwan 23 male from Hamilton, Ontario. Oh, Canadian, eh? Okay. My countryman is here. King Kwan, 23 male from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada says, I am dealing with HOCD since December, and it has been rough and then and now. Hanging out with guys doesn't feel good anymore, and trying to talk to girls doesn't feel right either. I've always wanted to marry a woman, but it doesn't feel like it's going to happen. Yes, it will. Don't worry. It affects how I interact with all guys, and I've never had a problem with that in my life. It's because you're focusing on the interpretation and meanings of the suggestions and thoughts and images that shows up in your head, instead of understanding that these are brains of thoughts and suggestions. not yours. Why? Because if it was yours, you wouldn't be talking like the way you're talking right now. You wouldn't be even referring to it. See, there's an awareness that has become aware of this particular way of brain producing thoughts. If it was the same, if you were the same as the brain, you wouldn't be noticing the conflict or the discrepancy between what you want, what the brain is making you to want. There would be no awareness. See, awareness comes when there is a contradiction. If there was no contradiction between the brain and you would not be aware that there is an actual difference between what you value and what your values are and what the brain is suggesting. It would be seamless, like you wouldn't notice it. But because there is an awareness of this discrepancy, then there is a contradiction. And because there's a contradiction, that means you're not what the brain says you are. Otherwise, there would be no awareness. Capiche? I hope you understand. I've explained it in more detail in some of the videos. I don't know which one. JOC says, hello, question about trauma related to a specific person, X, coming back into your life. Meaning there's a trauma involved when you think she's coming back to your life. First of all, I want to know who you are, gender, are you a man, woman, what your gender is, and how old you are, where you tuning in from, which country, which province, which state, wherever it is. Please don't forget, the protocol is important. I got to know who you are, how old you are, what gender you are, what background, cultural background, by knowing which part of the world you're at or in. So I'll get back to you as soon as I have that. King Kwan Productions says, thank you, you're quite welcome. JOC says, 26-year-old male from Germany. Ah, guten Tag. Wie geht's heute? Okay, now. JOC says, hello, question about trauma related to a specific person, X, coming back into your life. That person has restarted to connect and wants to get back together, but I feel I'm just satisfying my ego. Who broke up? Did you initiate the breakup or she did? Usually if you did, you wouldn't care what she wants to do. But if she initiated the breakup and now she's kind of restarting it, you would want to kind of get back with her in order to feel that, see, she didn't reject me, I'm good. Because you're seeking your validation from her, which is the wrong thing to do. How many people are you going to seek the validation before you feel good about yourself? Today is this one, tomorrow is that one, and every one of them are seeking validation from somebody else. So what's their qualification to validate you? So whether she rejected you or didn't, she broke up or you did, the problems that caused the breakup are still there, whether you get back with her or not. So he says, that person has restarted contact, wants to get back together, but I feel I'm just satisfying my ego and jealousy. How to stick to my values and growth? Well, again, did you want to separate from her or you still wanted her and she didn't want to continue? JOC says, I can't imagine lying to myself and going back, but I don't feel satisfied in letting that person completely go. She initiated. Well, that's the problem. That's why you want to get back to her, to prove to yourself, I'm good. There's nothing wrong with me. Nobody's better than me. Because that's the whole thing is focused there. If she chooses somebody else or she leaves you, you think she left you because you weren't good enough, which translates into your brain that somebody else is better than you. And we don't like anybody else be better than us in relation to our woman or whoever female that we've chosen, whichever girl that was our, our relationship. So you're trying to protect some idea that I am better than other guys based on the fact that she wants me, as if she is the standard of validating you. Your validation affirmation should come from your ability to build life for yourself, to advance your career, to educate yourself, to accomplish yourself, to contribute to the society and the community you live in. And that would be how you validate yourself, by being proud of conducting yourself in the way that meets your standards. What is her qualifications to be the center or the standards for validation? What has she accomplished in life? What? She cures the common cold. She feeds the needy. She clothes the people who don't have something to wear, shelters people who are in the street, or protects the women or children from being abused. What does she do that she's got your validation in her hands? What? The fact that you can go between her legs, that validates you? So what about if he finds another girlfriend and she's even prettier and nicer and well behaved and better morals and all that, and morals, and you can have intimacy with her? So why is this one? So it's because it has to do with you thinking that you got to be better than everybody else, and her choices makes you better than everybody else or not, instead of you being the one who make yourself feel satisfied with your behavior and accomplishments and interaction with life or not. So you're taking that brush that can paint how you look like, your image and your level of success in life, to somebody else to draw it for you. They're going to draw it based on what they like to do, not based on your reality. Never give a brush of painting who you are to somebody else's hand. All right. G1T4R says, hello from Spain. Thank you for your help. You're quite welcome. All right. Emo says, does trauma trigger OCD? It could. Not necessarily, but it could. This happens after finding out my ex-girlfriend was actually asexual, only used me for self. I don't know what asexual means. That means she didn't have sexual interest in you? What does that mean? How old are you, Emo? Could you again let me know? JOC says, thank you very much for your advice. You're quite welcome. Promote the channel, guys, girls. Promote the channel. This channel is unknown, but you can see the quality of the discussions and videos are second to none. And therefore, I hope that you will feel certain kind of responsibility to promote it on your social media, the videos that you like on your social media, somehow on the chat lines, wherever it is that you social media or social activities are, and promote the channel. Let people know. We are lost in the sea of YouTubes, and I don't know how to actually make people notice it more than what I have. Emo just turned 15 yesterday. So you turned 15 yesterday and you're concerned about all this bullshit? Your mind, your brain is too active. Just relax, man. Go play with soccer ball and do things that, you know, your age should do, instead of thinking, oh, my girlfriend was asexual. Fuck her. She used me. What do you mean used you? You're a boy. She gave you sex, you know, go and just pray to God. Thank you. You're trying to analyze why she had sex with you. Who gives a fuck? Just use protection. Talk to your parents, get permission. I don't want to give you advice when you're 15. Go and ask your parents for advice. Jesus, you guys are not acting your age. You're too concerned about the bullshit. Stop interpreting life. Just live your life. All right. What else do we have here? Sammy says, is the psychology of a female dumpy? Female dumpy. That means you broke off with her. Yeah? So she's the so-called victim. Versus a male dumpy, different or the same? Well, it's a little bit different because what you call dumpy, which I don't like to use that word because nobody dumps anyone and nobody dares to dump you. You shouldn't think that way at all. But let's say I understand what you mean. A little different because by nature, when a woman is free, without doing anything, there are 100 guys lined up just to be between her legs because they're all programmed for procreation, seek girls without thinking. A heterosexual male opens eyes and one of the things thinks about, which girl can I fuck? I wish there was a girlfriend here. So that is without qualification of who she is, what she does, with her mentality. All you are focused on as nature has programmed you to, like a seeker, missile seeker, look for women. Women, on the other hand, don't have to do anything because we are seekers. We seek. They can just sit there and they attract. They're like pastry and we're the flies. I mean, the bad way of saying it, calling ourselves. Or perhaps they're the flowers and we're the bees. So that means it's a little bit easier for them to recover because they've got so many approaches. Imagine you broke up with your girlfriend, like the girlfriend broke up with you, and then as soon as you walk out in the street or sit somewhere for tea or coffee or somehow you go to your home, so many women hit on you. Easier for you to forget the girlfriend. Move on faster. Unless you're really hung up on her. So if the girl is really hung up on you, even though she's a girl and she's got so many options following her, she still is going to be having a hard time. So it's not a piece of cake for them either, but usually girls have more options coming to them without having to go search for it. Especially if they're lookers, and they've got pretty much no problem. Only their own feelings stops them from accepting any of those offerings or invitations or whatnot. Attention. Danny says, can HOCD effects still trigger after overcoming? Yeah, of course. HOCD is part of life. Especially in this day and age, there's so much unnecessary information about everyone's lifestyle. It's out there for the people that is irrelevant to them, but they're being bombarded with all that information through mediums and internet and television discussions and so on. Everybody's lifestyle, everybody's personal inclinations is on discussion panels everywhere. Not necessary, but it's there. It wasn't like that, 50 years ago. So these sort of things were much less. Definitely when we had no ability to think or speak, there was none of it. Because these are all thought-based, yeah? Not biological. It's a suggestion and images and so on that goes, the signaling system of the brain that goes malfunctioning, then creates all these things, and then you try to find meaning into it, which you shouldn't. You should don't give a shit. Then you'll be fine. And that's the remedy of it. Just, as we talked about, ignore it and go about your life. And then neuroplasticity takes place and brain rewires itself because you show lack of interest. And we talked about it in several different ways. Remember, guys, if you want to discuss this with me in detail for your particular case, go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, mindthatseekstruth.com. Make an appointment on Skype for Skype chat, and for 1 hour appointment, I will add another hour for the first session. For the new client, we'll have 2 hours to discuss and explore what's concerning you, your breakups, relationship, OCD, HOCD, whatnot, any challenge in life, and explore it one-on-one together on Skype. Sammy says, thanks. That's helpful. Yeah, you're quite welcome. Okay, guys, I think it's time for me to mosey on out and go for a walk on the sea walk. It's still bright, and there's still a few people to acknowledge or see on the way before it gets too late, and there's just a couple of people walking by. And these days that you don't socialize much, just seeing other people, it's a very good connection with other humans and feel that there is a life out there. So have some kind of activities, sporting activities or exercise, or just walking about and acknowledging the existence of other humans. That would be good, positive enforcement and support. And Danny says, I'm going to therapy soon. You've helped me out a lot of, it helped me out a lot of appreciate. You're quite welcome, Danny. All right, guys, it's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to talk to you again, maybe next week at 1 o'clock on Saturday, and possibly 9 o'clock on Saturday, Vancouver time. And in the meantime, don't forget, you can reach me through my site, mindthatseekstruth.com. And until then, I look forward to talking to you again. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.